Fight!
Hey guys, welcome to season 5, episode 1 of the MKAU show. Today we have both our bosses. We have Sub-Zero 2K.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hi.
And we have Distracted ADD.
Well, distracted. It's just,
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Formerly known as Striker.
3K.
Yep. 3K.
Yep.
We have Breezy.
Yo.
We have Fletcher.
Good to be back.
And we have Whippy back again too.
Going on.
So, what have we been up to, guys? We'll go with Kurt. Because
we'll go with Kurt first. He's been away for a few years.
What have I been up to? Holy crap. Wouldn't even know where to start half time. Yes, I have been on hiatus, obviously. Trying to manage juggle life and its much eccentricities, but trying to fit in gaming wherever I can. Haven't really had time to play a whole lot these days, which sucks, but there is been work going on in the background, which I haven't even, I've mentioned it to Subby once or twice, but there's been site work going on in the background that is hoping to this year change up a bit. So that's kind of one of the biggest things I've been working on along with another coder. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm not making any promises because we all know how they turn out.
Yeah, I was going to say, you haven't really been on hiatus. You kind of do some of the other background stuff that not a lot of people would know about.
I try and do what I can when I can. Yes, unfortunately, I have the 3 children that keep me very busy, and moved house just recently and ended up in hospital twice because of that. Yay, that was fun. Because I'm getting an old fart now.
Yeah.
So I did me back in twice moving house, but no, just been. I still keeping testing hardware for been doing a bit of ASUS and AMD reviewing of late. So I might throw in a bit of a, how you do about that later on in the podcast, and
Yep.
Yeah, but and finish Ragnarok God of War to
I'm sure that's going to come up again later.
Yeah, a little bit probably.
I just have a feeling.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Subby, what have you been up to this week? Or since last podcast?
I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 2042, actually.
What brought you back into that?
I was sick of Call of Duty, sick of Siege, sick of everything that we usually play, so I wanted to try something else again, and it's a lot better now than it used to be.
Got new maps and stuff,
a lot
right?
better. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of new maps. I think we're on its 3rd season already, so there's usually 1 or 2 maps per season, so there's a whole ton of new maps and new operators been added.
Yep.
But yeah, I've just been playing a lot of...
Sorry we're keeping you awake, mate.
I'm really tired today. Yeah, just Battlefield mostly. Battlefield, keeping the website up to date. It's been a bit quiet. Start of the year's usually got not a lot happening, so just taking
January's notorious for developers and even movies to dump games and like movies they don't expect to do too well.
Yeah. So it's a bit quiet, not a lot going on really. Start of the year,
Yeah.
Nothing much to report really.
Yeah. It's kind of the dumping ground month to get rid of assets and stuff. Breezy, what have you been up to?
I've been playing the Hunter called the Wild in Persona 5.
Yeah.
While waiting for remastered versions of 3 and 4.
Yeah. What made you go back into Persona? Because that's quite an old game now, right? Persona 5.
Persona 5, yeah, that came out. They have a lot of years in between each game.
Yeah.
Like, you could just go to each console pretty much of, like, because the third one originally released back when PS2 and that were around, and then PS3 for Persona 4.
Big thing. This is all on Game Pass now, isn't it? On Xbox.
Yeah,
That's
they're releasing them on Games Pass, and
They're not out yet, though, are they? On Game Pass?
they come out on the 16th.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Fletcher, what have you been up to?
I'm slowly building my battle station. About this time last year, I bought a laptop off Subby, and I've been slowly building off that. Like I got myself a Blue Yeti microphone, which is what I've always wanted. Like I've moved my setup out of the living room, like into like a little study nook area. So I'm actually going to be drilling a hole through this and creating like a cable management system because it is disgusting.
Yep.
It's probably a fire hazard. I don't know, but it's slowly getting there. And like my wife bought me like a new screen. It's like we've got dual monitors and stuff like that now. So slowly getting there. Like I don't think I would really get to the stage where I'm going to be upgrading to like a tower at this stage. But like I pretty much got all the pieces. All I have to do is add it out of the system. Other than that, playing One Piece Odyssey, like that was like the first quote unquote big hit of the year, which was really good. Like pretty easy. And I'm a huge One Piece fan. I love that. Like I don't get into all animes, but like I've been able to keep coming back to that, and I really enjoy the One Piece stuff. And they did a pretty good job. Like they did really authenticness behind it. I think everyone else that has reviewed it and enjoyed it just said the same thing. It's just really easy.
Yeah, it was a good review to read. You can check that out on the website. Also funny is Subby calling it Luffy.
Luffy.
I don't know. I don't. I know zero about One Piece.
Monkey D. Luffy.
Yeah,
I've never
watched
any more than 10 seconds of anything with that game or anime or whatever the hell it is.
That was quite fun. And then watching Megan, like a good B grade movie, was fun with the MKAU crew.
Yeah, that was a good night. Whippy, what have you been up to?
Working. I've been working lots. No, I've been doing a heap of work. I've been playing with a bit of video editing lately.
Yeah.
Subby got me back into playing Battlefield again. I was playing that the last couple of days now. And been playing a bit of Car X drift racing. So yeah, haven't been doing too much gaming, but I'm getting back into it now because things are getting a little bit more quiet. So
yeah, it's kind of settling down a little bit. Everyone's starting to crack their knuckles and get back into a few games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we posted
what
our.
What have you been doing?
Yeah, what have you
Me?
been
What
doing?
have I been doing?
Leaving us hanging?
I was lucky. I got to go see Megan as well. Partner won the tickets, so that was nice. I got to go with everyone else, so that was cool. Pretty cheesy, but like self-aware cheesy. Would you say, Fletch? Fletcher reviewed it, so you can also find that review up on our website.
They kind of had to lean into it. Like there's looking at the trailers and the ads and the marketing campaign, nobody could take that seriously, and they did a pretty good job. You know, at the end of the day, it's not going to rewrite the horror books like history.
No.
I think the thing that I put in the review was like it suffered from pulled punches. Like I reckon they could have just gone the whole movie, like just.
Oh yeah.
You know the meme. It's a killer doll. Like chuck her in there, let her go wild. But they actually built like a proper movie around it. So it was fun. Fun.
Yeah.
That's a good way to.
Up on TikTok.
It was solid fun.
Yep.
Yeah, solid is what I would call it. It's not going to be a cult classic, I don't think, but it was it was fun enough. No, it's not. It's not going to be like Chucky.
It's not that violent, unfortunately. Was it only rated like PG or something? So they had to.
Oh well, in Australia it's MA, but in America it only got PG.
They didn't show a lot.
No.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those movies, Kurt, where they like cut off just as you're about to see some sort of violence.
Right.
Like you'll see her go to stab someone, but you won't see it. But then you'll see her pull it out of. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, like Fletch said, they fully pulled their punches. Yeah. So yeah, 2022 been and gone. Our Games of the Year articles are up on the website, but I thought it'd be nice for our listeners at home to hear what were some of our favorite games of 2022 and actually elaborate on some of the reasons why we may have chosen them as some of our favorite games. Now, these can be from any genre. I've kind of gone a broad variety. So, anyone want to explain one of their highlights of 2022 gaming wise?
Well, I didn't play a lot, so I'll go really quick. Yeah,
I'm getting to you. It's going to be a long one.
Look, I didn't play a lot, but I really enjoyed Sniper Elite this year.
Yeah, which was quite an underground kind of not very super hype title. Why would Sniper Elite be one of your favorite games? You did play a lot of it on the stream.
I do like the series in general, but I don't know. I don't know.
It just played well. Like it
was just really good. Like the missions, all the stuff that you had to do, on each map. The maps were huge. I don't know. Just always found myself going back to it. Content kept flowing in. They still are adding content to the game. So I just found myself going back to it all the time. And
you did get that one achievement.
Yeah, and I had to get all the achievements. And it took me a while to get Hitler's testicle, and I got it. So
the family jewels were shot.
Yep.
My question to you is, was it much different than Sniper Elite 4? Because I'm going to assume you played nearly all of them.
Yeah, I've played them all. They're all very similar. This one, I don't know. This one, the previous games I sort of played and never went back to them for any reason. I think because I didn't really add DLC or anything to them. But this one, they just kept adding to it, so once I finished a map 100%, I kind of, by that time, a new map come out, so I went and jumped back onto that one. Yeah, I don't know. But that would have been I didn't play a lot, so that's kind of my game of the year, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, well, we're going to move to Kurt, but I need to segue for a little bit. So, everyone at MKAU knows that Kratos is Kurt's favorite character. And he was very upset when we did the top 10 games of ever. And God of War only came fourth.
A little bit upset.
He was really salty that God of War only came fourth. This is like old school episode, guys. You can go back and watch that. I think it's like season 1.
That was back in Lance's lounge room, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, probably would have been.
We used to sit on his lounge room. That's what our old podcast used to be.
Pre-COVID
I think it was the season finale. It was like episode 10 of season 1. So if you want to watch that episode, it was really good. We opened envelopes as we announced who
that's right,
MKAU's top 10 games of all time were.
I'll try and dig it up and link it in the description.
Yeah. It's a good episode. There's like 8 of us there that night. So can
I make one request while Kurt talks about like his game of the year? That Subby puts in post the theme song to God of War Ragnarok just the whole time while he's clearly
too much editing to do. Pass.
Slyly in the background. So drum roll. Why was Ragnarok your favorite game this year?
Look, it's Kratos. It's. I think if you read the review, anybody who read the review on the site, I think it pretty much nailed it. The characters themselves, they're so memorable. Like the writing, the dialogue, the voice acting, and what I liked. I think what I liked best about Ragnarok compared to even the original, well, not the original God of War, but the original God of War in this timeline, I guess you could call it, was that you got to partner with different characters. You weren't just partnered with Atreus. And you also got to play as Atreus, which was really, really good. Look, I think the story is. It was good to see it just follow through. I don't want to say too much, obviously, because spoilers for people who haven't finished it. But there is so much there, and look, Kratos, for whatever reason, he's always been my favorite character. It's just one of those games. I mean, I don't have a PS5. I still only played it on PS4, PS4 Pro. But it was just one of those games that even on my PS4 Pro, it still looked fantastic in quality mode. It still played fantastic. It was just one of those games you wanted to keep going through. And even though I've finished the story, there is still so much yet to be done. There is so many side quests, so many other tasks yet to be done, and the way that it's the character backstories, the way they built the characters up. It's I don't know, they couldn't have done it any better in my opinion. I'd love it to be a movie too, but if they ever made a movie of that, they would have to stick to it. Like,
They're doing a TV show
as it is.
Series.
That's something we're gonna bring up later. I gotta.
But I would like to mention though, now it was a late entry to 2022, but it was also I can't remember who reviewed it, but I do agree it was the game I didn't know I needed. Stray.
I think Stace did that, didn't she? Who did Stray?
I don't think I reviewed it.
Brashy did Stray.
Oh, Brashy.
Just a quick little mention for that. I think that was
phenomenal.
Yeah, it was a fantastic. I haven't finished it yet. I'm still trying to get through it, but it is something so different, and yet you think, what, you play as a cat? Big deal. That's going to get boring, but no, it's quite the opposite.
It's unique, right?
Very unique. So I think that deserves an honourable mention.
I think I put that as in the article. That was like my indie game of the year because it was a very small studio that did it. And I think my comment was like, you could make that could have just been a throwaway game. Like it's just fun that you were playing as a cat. The fact that it was really good as well was what shocked me.
Well, the animation, the movements, the cat, and like everything they did, the way the cat jumped, the way even when it jumped down and it would land hard, it would sort of meow a bit. And now I have cats, and trust me, they nailed it. So kudos to them. But yeah, that deserves a mention there at least.
Yeah,
like
it was actually
itself.
Yeah,
it looks good.
It was one of the rare games where the haptic feedback I thought was so well utilized. Like I didn't find myself turning it off because I liked feeling the vibrations of the cat pulling at the rug and playing with the
the left and right triggers.
Yeah. And the story, like it actually it's teeming with lore if you like listen to the conversations. Yeah, it's insanely good. Not long enough though.
No.
There's one part in that game pretty early on where like you got to do this run like through the alleyway, like when the first little, I don't know what you call them, like the amoeba blobs or whatever.
Little
it is.
blobbies.
Like
crab face things.
There's a trophy to get through that run without ever getting touched. It took me 3 days of like long sessions of me sitting there resetting that thing. It was so important for me to get that trophy, and it's a bronze trophy or something like that. But like, I really want to go through the platinum that game. It was just so fun. So you look online, there's people raging over that one little trophy.
It definitely didn't, I don't think, get the like praise it deserved,
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So it might definitely so God of War Ragnarok for me with an honourable mention of Stray without a doubt.
Yeah. All right, Fletch. I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but I'm not sure. You might surprise me.
Well, see, like I was really conflicted this year. Like, I ultimately chose Elden Ring as my game of the year. And as someone that didn't really play the God of War 1, 2, and 3, like the original ones, because I never had a PlayStation. So when the 2018 God of War came out, that was hands down my game of the year. Like there was nothing that could ever come close to that type thing. And I still think that God of War Ragnarok was the best told story this year, hands down. I was just so thoroughly enthralled with Elden Ring. And the thing is, like, I love From Software games. You can ask Redgrave. This is the only From Software game that I was able to actually finish without help. And I even said in the review for the article that you put, Stace, what was the biggest surprise? And my biggest surprise was Elden Ring, because all the From Software games previously, they don't sell anywhere near what God of War would. They don't sell. They're never the highest selling games of the year. It's like a niche club that enjoys it. The fact that this game pretty much left, it's the highest selling game of 2023, which isn't a fair comparison when God of War Ragnarok comes out like a month before the year's end. I get that, but the fact that like more people that didn't enjoy From Software games got on the bandwagon of that and was obsessed with it surprised the crap out of me. I wouldn't care which way it went. Like if anyone awarded God of War Ragnarok as the game of the year over Elden Ring, I wouldn't argue. But for me personally, I just couldn't put Elden Ring down. Like that was like a 4-month endeavor for me. Like nothing else mattered, and like it's been a very long time. Obviously, there's games that we always go back to, but that was like I got to figure out the next thing to do. I got to try and unlock this next thing, and there was building crafts, and like that game was nuts.
Those two are definitely worthy contenders. Like the most worthy contenders in like a couple of years.
Yeah.
Or 2 games going up against each other for game of the year.
But I'm glad that Kurt mentioned Stray, because the thing that I like about Stray is like I remember about 10 years ago, PlayStation released Journey. I don't know if anyone else remembers that game. Very small game. That won Game of the Year by a lot of people. Like even I think it got honorable mentions at the Game Awards and stuff like that. But that was just a very small contained thing, and Stray does that. And Stray is just it's like a memento to the past of like games that used to drop, and then like you would just play through it and you were just enthralled in the world. You don't have to worry about anything else, and then you finish it, and then you're good, and you can go back and play with it. But like just that one experience alone is good enough.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very rare lately that games are able to do that, and like Stray did that in spades. Elden Ring did that because it didn't has lore and story, blah blah blah. But ultimately, you're just in there because you're just in a vendetta to beat the next boss because you just got the crap beaten out of you for 2 days, and you're like, I'm gonna get this. So yeah, but overall, ended up being a pretty great year for games.
But it was a good year.
Oh, an honorable mention for Tiny Tina. That game was fun as hell.
It's a good game.
Yeah. That game was the only one that really stood out to me as like one of the ones that I actually just sat down and just had fun. Like I just enjoyed playing. Like I didn't care about being good at the game. I just wanted to play it.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Need more of that.
Whippy, standouts for you. Don't say Diablo or I'm kicking you out.
Oh, I did say before the podcast I was going to say Diablo just to piss everyone off, but I did play a lot of that game in 2022, and I mean before I hit the paywalls, it was a good game. No, I'll probably stick to what I said in the article. I really enjoyed the campaign for Modern Warfare 2. I get right into my Call of Duty campaigns, and that was one that really stuck out to me. I really enjoyed that, and like character development with Ghost and all that sort of stuff was really cool to see, especially when playing them like Modern Warfare when I was younger. It's a heap of good fun.
Love the Ghost memes that are all over the place. They like
Ghost
cut
is
to
hot.
Ghost. And he's just like Ghost is.
There was a lot of bugs when it first came out, but I've since gone back and played it again, and it's a lot of them have definitely been ironed out. But yeah, definitely a good game. I enjoyed that a lot.
Now that you mentioned, so what do you think of the stealth mission that they had in there? Like
the one where you had there was 4,000 guards.
Yeah, and you had to craft your way through things and stuff like that. Like
I got death looped on that mission. It took me 2.5 hours to finish it. I got death looped on it, and I got death looped in a really, really bad place. I ended up stopping streaming, rage quitting for about an hour, and then came back to it. But yeah, I got death looped in a really bad place because Vibe and I started about the same time, and it was like a race to the finish. I still just beat him, but yeah, I was like, that annoyed me a lot. That's why I had to go back and play the game again because I knew that they would have ironed that out by the time I'd gone back, and they did. So
yeah, that was a standout mission. It's cool that they tried new things in the campaign.
Yeah, I'd love to see another Ghost game. It was I know I like those more stealthy missions, like the I don't know. I've always been into them, so we'll see what happens.
All right, Breezy.
I found Pokemon Legends of Arceus to be a real game changer for its series.
Yep, I agree.
It changed how Pokemon played. It was now more you're immersed into the battle, and it's brought to the new systems a whole new way of battling.
Yep.
And also the crafting. That's that was so fun to you just had to go and find items. You got to go find material and to craft your Pokeballs and all that. It was just like enjoyable.
This one was more like an RPG, hey, than the traditional like colorful ones like Scarlet and Violet and Red and Blue.
Scarlet and Violet, I did manage to get a play of them, and yeah, they came out late year, but Arceus came a lot more better, and it gave a whole new feel to the game system.
Yeah, that one was more polished, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Were they made by different people? They were, hey.
No.
They're the same people?
Yep, same developer.
Game Freak has their rights to it. And also the other stuff in Pokemon changing. Yeah, it's just a lot of things are changing for Pokemon.
Yeah. I watched someone play, I think it was Bigfoot, one of our stream team. Check him out on Twitch. I think he played Arceus on stream, and that one looked amazing. But then I watched another one of our stream team, Dippy. Check him out on Twitch. Scarlet and Violet just looked so ugly. Like, the environments just looked so bland and ugly. I couldn't get over it. The complete difference between them.
There's like massive frame rate issues with the game. Like if something is not right in front of you, like all the background stuff is like, you know, it's normal for games to try and render the background down a little bit so it runs a bit smoother, but when you can still see it and you see the people like running, like, you know, moving at like 3 frames a second in the background,
yeah,
it's bad. It felt like Arceus was like their prototype of the open world, and then it worked really well, so then they rushed Scarlet.
Yeah,
that was out maybe.
It was a bit of a surprised announcement that they were bringing out another generation so fast, and this was like 2 big games in 1 year, within the time of 1 year, because like Arceus came at the beginning of the year and Scarlet and Violet came out at the very end.
Yeah, it's really weird for them to put out multiple Pokemon games in a year, but they don't have to. Yeah. They're making a bank off one of. It's probably still one of the best-selling games of the whole year, anyway. Scarlet and Violet probably sold more units than Elden Ring and like God of War combined.
Oh, it would annoy me if it did. Game was there's so many glitched like clips on Twitter when it arrived.
Yeah, but I will say that at least it's like Skyrim is one of my favorite games of all time, and it is also one of the most broken games of all time.
I would agree with that.
It's still fun as crap though. Like I just yeah, like so you get the same thing with Scarlet and Violet. Like regardless of it, maybe you know have struggling, it's still fun.
Yeah. For me, like I can't really say anything other than what you guys have already said. Like Ragnarok, I've written down. Even though I didn't play it, I watched it, and that's how you know a game is good. If you can sit there and watch someone play it and still enjoy the story.
Mm-hmm. You should play them. We keep telling you should play.
Yeah,
them.
I know, but I'm the type, right? I can't just start at one. I'd want to go all the way back, and that would be like.
You don't
there
really,
are so many of them.
You don't really have to start from like the OG.
Yeah, but I would
do the last
to.
two. The last two would be.
Oh, I don't know. I think I have to disagree. I kind of have to disagree in some ways there with Subby because there are references to the older games. I mean, yes, it's been made so you can start from the 2018 version.
Yeah.
But
can you even play any of the previous games?
I've played them all.
Yeah, but can you play them on any current hardware?
They like PlayStation 2 or something?
PS3.
No, with the like, if you got a PS5, Stace, like which you do, like they've got the PlayStation subscription service at the moment. They've got the God of War 3 remastered on there, so that's probably about as far back as you can go.
Yeah, but that's only I ended up buying a secondhand PS3 just so I could buy like 1, 2, and then there was the other one. There was the in-betweeners as well. There's like 5 or 6 of them in total.
Like
Yeah,
Ascension,
got
Ghost
Ascension and
Spider, and
stuff
stuff
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah, that's them. And then
They're all
Ascension was
PSP
good,
games.
actually. That was a really good game.
I think they were PSP games, right? And then they were ported.
originally, and then but you can get them all. Like I say, I bought the PS3 specifically to go back.
You don't
and
need
just
like a
play
HDMI
them.
adapter thing.
No,
No,
the PS3 is still HDMI.
Yeah,
It's still
PS3 is HDMI.
Yeah,
that'd be a place you have to go.
I mean, the gameplay is completely different though. Like it's like
quick time, right?
No, it's well, okay, yeah, there is the quick time in there, but you're not playing in a third person. You're playing in like a sort of an angled top down RPG type.
Yeah, like sort of in between top down and first person. It's like
Diablo almost.
Yeah, like Diablo. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for that.
Similar.
But it has the story that leads up to the 2018 version, and like I say, it's been made so you don't have to go back and play it. But to understand the story from the 2018 version to now, yeah, if you've got the time to go back and play them, definitely do it. But yeah, it's a lot of time.
I reckon some of the boss fights and stuff are way better in the old games.
Well, yes. I think building off what you already said, Stace, had the fact that you already watch like God of War Ragnarok and like how much you love it and stuff like that. You would get the same experience, like, if you watched, some highlights, bare minimum highlights from God of War 1, 2, and 3, because that's all I did, because I didn't like how it played. One, because I wasn't good at it. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat that. I wasn't good at God of War 1, 2, and 3. But that's obviously because I'd go to my friend's place when I was younger, and then they're like, "Here, play this," and then I get trampled, and then they take it off me, and then they kill Zeus. You know what I mean? So,
if nothing else, go back and try and find the highlights of the story, just to do with Zeus and Kratos to get
why so angry
line there. At least that way. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to necessarily go and play them all, but yeah, just to get a bit of the storyline.
Yeah, I started with God of War 2018. That was the first game I started and played through, and it was great. But you couldn't get me to go back and play the originals because it would just ruin my experience.
Yeah, the old ganky controls.
I just it was a real PlayStation thing. Resident Evil and God of War and stuff like they all have like the fixed camera angles, so that you're walking one way, then you go into the next room, and because you're already holding that way, your character turns around and walks that way, and goes back into the same room. Yeah, that used to
Nintendo was pretty bad for that too.
Yeah, it's those type games. I can't stand them.
Yeah, I had Stray as well, and everything you said about Elden Ring, I agree with. Like, I know Elden Ring's good because it's like the first FromSoft game that I've ever played, even attempted to play, and I had so much fun. Even though I got carried the whole time, and I was struggling to kill dung beetles while Redgraves and Vibe was slaying dragons. Like,
that was a hilarious video. I still remember seeing that.
Bro, they killed this dragon in like 10 minutes, and it took me that time to kill a dung beetle running around the outside, like behind him. Like, you should go see this TikTok. It's hilarious. I'm like in the background chasing a dung beetle.
Vibe or something like that. It was either Vibe or Redgrave.
It would have been Vibe. He sticks everything on TikTok.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I mean, Mr. Vibe AU on TikTok. Go have a look. It's a cute clip. The only thing I really had different to you guys is I had a Plague Tale. I really enjoyed that. Requiem. It's like, to me, it was a perfect sequel. Like, it was emotional. It was gorgeous to look at. It had new mechanics. Again, another little indie developer.
I finished the first one, so I'm definitely interested in what your thoughts are on that.
How long did it take you to finish the second one, Stace?
Oh man. Okay, so it was supposed to take 12 hours. Vibes like this game's like 12 hours long. It took me like 20 hours to finish. I kept getting distracted. Yeah, so I like, to me, 2022 was all about like cherishing little indie games. I think they just went out and crapped all over the AAA titles last year. For me,
I'm glad that what Breezy put, because I wrote in Breezy's entry to the article, he put Choo Choo Charles.
Yep.
As well. That game was awesome. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
It was fun watching you. I think I watched you and Vibe play that.
That is a hilarious game. That is so funny. It's only one person that made that. It's just a single guy. Small game, but
But
God
creepy
damn,
in all the right ways.
he knocked it out of the park. That was just a love project. Have you seen it, Kurt or Whippy or anything like that?
I haven't seen or heard it, but I'm going to definitely go and follow it up after this.
My a mate of
Scary
mine,
game. You don't want to play in front of the
Joe,
kids.
who's on YouTube. I don't even know what his handle was, but he modded it so it had like Thomas the Tank Engine and shit in it, and it was just that little bit more creepy.
But the general concept is like I think it built off the memes.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I think there was just a meme in general because like the monster is a literal like Thomas the Tank Engine, rip, and then it's just got massive spider legs, and it's just like a carriage that like chases you down and stuff like that. It's got like giant teeth and stuff. And the
I'm
whole
just
thing
looking
is
at it on Steam now. Actually, it's on 25% off at $22.12 AU.
All respect, all love to that game and that developer. He did an amazing job.
Pretty sure it was based off of a meme, a creepypasta meme or something like that.
It would not surprise me. That would make sense. Who's
the
developer?
I've seen some videos of like people messing around with Thomas the Tank Engine, making them more horror. So I was like, as soon as I saw this, I was like, that has to be based off of that stuff, and I'm like, they did well at base. If it is, I give them my round of applause.
Yeah.
It's got navigate an open world island in an old train, upgrade it over time, and use it to fight an evil spider train named Charles. All reviews very positive, 8,222 of them. Developer and publisher 2-star games. Yeah, it's
Give it a go, Kurt. It's a new series for YouTube. Kurt plays Choo Choo Charles.
I tell you what, it's only 20. Like I said, it's 25% off until January 20. So, it's it looks like one of those games that I'd probably jump 10 feet in the air while I was playing it, but But yeah.
Oh yeah, he comes crawling down the hill out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm freaking out, and I'm just watching people. Look, get in your train. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like mini boss that it's like in the water, so even in the water you're not safe. You've got Charles chasing you, and you can't even swim away from him because there's another monster in the water.
Look, I'm logging on to Steam as we speak, and I'm buying this just because I want to give it a shot. Now, for $22, why the hell not?
Converted someone.
All right, my last special honorary mention is Cult of the Lamb. Oh my god, man, that game! I'm still playing it even now. Like, I haven't even finished the final boss, but it is like one of my favorite another indie game made by an Australian developer.
Yeah, I was about to say Australia, wasn't
it? Yeah. I think they were only a small team of 3.
Yeah.
I actually met them at PAX because I wanted to buy a little lamb plushie, but they all ran out in the first day. I went back to that store every day, and they had none. They like sold their whole stock like the first day. I loved it because it was a mixture of genres. It was like a dungeon rogue game. But it was also like a city, like a building managing system with like minor RPG-ish type elements because you had to pick cards out that would give you perks on your run through the dungeon. Oh, it was just amazing. And the fact that it had Twitch integration so I could play it with my community and I could make them my little slaves and do my bidding. Like,
another game that did do the Twitch integration was As Dusk Falls, which that was chaotic.
That was fun, making you do all the things you didn't want to do, Breezy. I had a great time.
Yeah, that I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
What's the Twitch integration for Cult of the Lamb? I've heard it has that. I haven't seen it in practice.
So when I pick up a follower through, because in the dungeon you have like missions and you can like extract. I suppose extract's the word. A follower. So when the follower comes to your commune, I guess is what you call it. You can a cult. You can bring up a little screen and it votes which of your viewers gets to be that follower, and they get to design it and change its color, and then they run around the town.
That's really cool.
as you're going through dungeons, your whole community can vote whether they want to give you a positive or a negative trait. So my community was always making it so like I would take double damage and do half damage. Like I would, yeah, it was insane. It was really cool though. And it was just so cute and cuddly. So that's a good segue into what sort of games are we looking forward to in 2023?
Well, I've just downloaded Choo Choo Charles, so we're good to
There
go.
you go. That's his one answer.
No, can't count. Try again.
No. Breezy, let's start with Breezy this time.
Yes,
Breezy, what are you
let's
looking
do
forward
that.
to?
I'm looking forward to see what indie games come out this year. Seeing like
No.
there's gonna be like
That's not the question. What game are you looking forward to?
What indie
probably
game?
gonna have to be the technically Breath of the Wild sequel for
Is
Legend of Zelda.
Kingdom.
Is that this year?
Yeah.
Yep, May.
Yep.
I think it comes out on my
Hopefully
birthday.
it's coming out
It
this
comes out
year,
around our
don't
birthday,
need to
Subby.
play it again. Like most games that's happening with.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
Yeah.
And hoping to play it.
All right, Whippy. What about you? I can think of something starting with D and ending in the number 4.
Yep, Diablo
Yep.
4. That's my game at the moment.
I play
Actually,
Philip. I hope it comes out this year.
Is it it's got 2023 tag. Does it have a date? Like a month?
Yeah, it's got
June
a release date.
June.
June 6th.
Oh, cool.
You can have a big MKAU clan if you
It
want
won't.
to
It
get
won't
in
be
on
delayed. That'll be out.
It better be.
It will be.
Yeah, Diablo 4, the new Star Wars game, pretty keen for that, and that new Hogwarts Legacy game, I'm pretty keen for. So,
Yep.
but definitely Diablo 4. I'll be spending many hours on that.
With Diablo 4, I'm just hoping they're not pushing the store as a feature.
It will be in there, but I'm hoping that they have it like Diablo 3 where you don't have to buy anything if you don't want to.
Yeah.
That's where they stuffed that with Immortal. They paywalled everything and it become very
the center feature.
Yeah. It's like if you want to spend big money, you can do this, and this. I'm like, well, I don't want to do that, so bye.
If they paywall that, I'll be dumping that Diablo 4 in the trash.
Yep.
Paywalling games. I
don't think they will.
I understand they got to make money, but there's a point where you just shouldn't cross.
Especially if it's a game you got to pay for up front.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes,
If it's a free game,
that.
then I mean,
enough, if it's free, then that's one thing. But if you're paying for a game, then it's a bit of a tough ask. With well, I mean, look, to be fair, and the world as it is, the cost of doing anything these days is going up and up and up and up, and these games are charging more and more and more, even after you've paid for it.
I think it's actually $160 too, so I'd be very irritated.
That's for the top one. I think the base one's just $100.
Normal price,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the legendary one. You get a whole heap of things and mounts in Diablo 3 and all sorts of crap.
Yeah, but like if you're this excited for Diablo 4, you'd be getting the top dog one.
Mm-hmm.
We won't talk about that, but yes.
We won't share that with our partners.
No, that will be a skip past the Minister of Finance chat.
That's a good way of putting it.
But I believe that if it's a game that's for free, have some stuff you have to use real money. But if it's like a game that you pay like $80 for, don't just give everything that's in the game for free. Because like you've spent a whole bunch of money on it, you don't want to spend more on it.
Stores are just a reality now for us.
Yeah.
Remember when we were young gamers and there was no such thing as stores?
What's the hell?
How our lives have
No
changed.
such thing as patches.
Yeah, I was about to say, no patches back in our day. No stores, no patches. Just blow in the cartridge.
Naive kids today wouldn't know what a game looked like without a store.
Back when Subby turned 20 and was playing Pong.
Oh, the days.
I still remember the Nintendo 64 days.
Oh,
Well,
come on.
Oh,
That's
You're like the youngest here.
far enough for me.
You should get an Atari 2600. Let me know what you think.
Yeah.
It
Commodore
wouldn't play
64, come on now.
It wouldn't have good.
I never had a Commodore 64.
I had one of them and an Apple IIe.
Atari was my
old
first
boys.
one.
Old boys reminiscing.
Oh no, I still remember walking around PAX with Subby, and there was like a computer section at the back of PAX. And Subby's like, "Oh, I remember when I had one of those computers."
That was one of those Tandy computers. Remember the Tandy computers, Kurt?
Yes, I had one of them too.
They had one of them at PAX. Some dude was playing Wolfenstein on it.
Oh yes, Wolfenstein. And back in the days, yes, you'd install Wolfenstein or your Doom on your what was it? 4? Was it 4 floppy disks? 1.4.
3 generations.
I do have
here.
the floppy disks somewhere.
I remember when I was living in Darwin, like we'd never had a home computer, but our school had like a computer lab, like it was like the really old like DOS computers and stuff like that, and we played Prince of Persia, like the floppy disk version and stuff like that. Like so, like you go through the screens. That game was epic, and I never once knew what it was called, like until like years later when this is Prince of Persia. I was like, man, I remember playing that when I was like 5. That game was awesome.
Yeah, we used to install Wolfenstein on our computers at school.
All right, Subby, what are you looking forward to in 2023?
Is it just one game, or can I? I've got a bunch of games I'm actually looking forward to.
You can do as many as you want. 'Cause I've got about 4.
Yeah,
Atomic Heart is probably my number one.
Yep.
Really looking forward to that one. Redfall.
Yep.
Which is a Bethesda one. I haven't seen much on it, but I do want to. We haven't seen much, so I don't know.
It's like a vampire shooting game, right?
I don't know.
It's a vampire shooting game, but it's gonna play exactly like Dishonored and Deathloop. Same developer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it looked kind of like
You thought
Back
it was
4 Blood?
Yeah, like no, but like it's same developer as that. It's basically they're keeping the same model and just changing his setting.
Oh, yep.
Atomic Heart, Redfall. A RoboCop game was announced.
Oh my god!
I can't remember what it's called exactly.
MKAU come out again.
Which RoboCop though?
I'm just trying to. It's called Rogue City. RoboCop Rogue City. It looks really violent. Looks good.
It's not the only. There's also a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game coming out.
Hey mate, hey! This is my segment. This is my segment. You wait your turn, little boy.
He had his turn. He missed it up.
Oh, you've had your turn. Oh well, you missed out. RoboCop, and the other one is Stalker 2. They keep delaying it for some. I wish they could stop delaying it and just bring it out already, but
it's because the developers are literally at war.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to play it.
It's a little bit hard to.
I just want to play it.
A little bit hard to develop.
The army.
Yeah.
Stalker 2. I don't know. I'm sure there was a few more. System Shock.
Oh yeah, I heard they're making that into a TV show too.
I don't know. So many good games this year.
All right, Breeze, you want to elaborate on the one you were talking about?
So yeah, they're actually because they're pretty much it's got stuff to do. Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight's having to lose another one of its killers, but this time it's due to it getting its own game, which is Bubba, who's the cannibal, and he's having his own game brought out. So that's was a big surprise, and yeah, it's another chapter in Dead by Daylight that's having to be taken away from the store, and you have to buy it in a limited time.
So you're saying they're losing Bubba and Leatherface?
Leatherface is Bubba.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm sick of these bloody Friday the 13th style games.
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight.
Even Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, Texas. What was the other one? What'd you say it was called? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
What was that one that you played last year, Subby, that lasted like 2 minutes? It was a horror-based game, wasn't it?
Evil Dead?
Yeah,
that's gone. That came.
It was irrelevant for a week.
Yeah. I'm just sick of them.
Actually, they didn't lose Dead by Daylight didn't lose the license for Ash. Thank God. Because I still have yet to buy him. But
Get
yeah,
on that, but they lose them.
licensing for Dead by Daylight is hard. First it was Stranger Things. There was rumors, but I think those rumors turned out to be false. I haven't heard anything else.
Did you start them?
He
Pretty
started.
much, I haven't
He's
heard
just like the
anything.
rumors. It's a rumor mill.
You Forza this year too. I forgot.
Team sport.
Forza Motorsport.
Drifting simulator.
What?
Fort Motorsport's so good. Literally just
Yeah, but
drifting
Horizon's
simulator.
better.
Horizon
No,
is.
it's
I
not.
prefer the
Hanging
Horizon,
for
but
a
I'm hanging
Horizon
for a new
Tokyo.
Forza game.
I'm still yet to be beaten by anyone at MKAU. Well, not that any of you've tried on Bathurst.
Vlad won't try. He likes it.
Yeah, but
That's a
I need to
change.
do it. I need to do it with Vibe on like actual simulator next to each other.
Yes, do it.
I'm surprised you didn't
That'd be a
say
good video.
AEW Fight Forever, Whippy.
What the hell is that?
The new wrestling game.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, no doubt I'll review it because I'm the only one doing sports games. But it. I don't know. It could go very badly or very good. I don't know.
The AEW is the one underneath WWE, yeah? Like,
Yeah,
No,
that's the one that
AEW is
came
its own brand, so a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of the WWE fighters went over to AEW. So it's its own brand. So they've actually got competition now. The one under WWE's NXT or whatever it's called.
That's right, yeah.
All right, Fletcher, what games are you looking forward to?
Skull and Bone. Oh, wait, it got delayed again.
I was waiting for this rant.
I've been holding. I don't want to play it at all. I am like that over with it. I want to play it out of spite more than actually excitement. Just like as I said, I don't like the Assassin's Creed games, but Black Flag I absolutely loved. That game was just a good pirate game.
Yep.
And then they've just been waving this like mythical game in front of like us for nearly 10 years now. Like it would be 10 years. I think it was 2013 Black Flag came out.
Yeah.
And they still can't get this. Like,
They put it into development.
Development.
Yeah.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Development when Black Flag was successful.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not even going to pardon the pun. The ship has sailed in that game. God damn.
The ship has sailed. I agree.
I think
really.
apparently the only reason they've not just canned the project is because of some like they're under obligation by some Singapore government deal or something or other, so that they have to release it.
Yeah. I mean, they gutted the features of it, so if they delayed it and they put the features back in there so you can actually walk around or like raid a ship and jump on it and stab people, you're probably going to be better for the game. Congratulations. But goddamn, just release the game.
Are they running it off the complete same engine as Black Flag anyway? So it'd be like you're playing Black Flag.
Probably, yeah.
Oh,
Um,
Black
They
Flag
were
too.
trying
Yeah.
to bring it to a
But
bigger engine.
I mean, like for Assassin's Creed games in general, like I'm pretty sure the next one they said they've got to scale back because they said Valhalla, Odyssey, and Origin were just too big, and they weren't even close to what the original Assassin's Creed games were anyway.
I was
No,
talking
the
to
next
Subby about this a little while ago because I love Assassin's Creed. I've played all of them, and
I'm sorry.
the new one coming out, they've actually scaled it back, and it's the same size map as Assassin's Creed 2 or something. So they're keeping it to a city again. They're not going to like this big open world thing. So I'm is that coming out this year?
Mirage you're talking about?
Mirage, yeah, this year.
It's
as long as
2023.
it's not like the Chronicles.
Mm.
I hated the Chronicles.
Sorry, my eyes are glazing over because I hate Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's
Ooh.
Creed
I love the
Mirage
first
is
couple with
I love
Etsy. That was
Etsy.
about it.
it's got no date
These
yet.
games bore me.
But so anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there just to, like, because I needed to put a rant somewhere about that game because like I think I've been rallying for that game for the last 2 years.
Probably multiple seasons of the podcast.
yeah.
It's come up. I'd say.
A game that is coming out very soon, Wild Hearts.
That's right.
While you all went to PAX, Subby asked if I could do like the preview of that, and like I booted up on my laptop and stuff like that. And that game was epic. like there was like just a Monster Hunter game. Like it's just but it's like a very unique thing. Like you can build on the fly, like so you can build little walls, traps, contraptions. Like and then as you killing the beasts and stuff like that, you're slowly terraforming the island as well. You're literally setting up your camps around there, and you can set up zip lines and stuff like that. Pretty sure it's only 2-player when it comes out fully, but I'm so psyched for that game. Like that and Wulong. Redgrave did the previews and stuff like that for
I was waiting
Wulong.
for that to come up. Yeah.
Yeah, those two games. Oh god, they look so good.
It's like Sekiro, right? But Sekiro, but like
Yeah,
a Chinese version.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like I think the Wulong has got probably a couple more like magical side like
Yeah.
elements to it than what like the other games were. But those
Very
two games,
Souls like play though, right?
yeah. But like the big thing is like even though I said Wild Hearts can be multiplayer, just good single player games again. And I think the Wild Hearts, I don't like the story was pretty good, but I think Wulong would be a more story driven one. They're like my two main ones that I'm looking at. Obviously, I'm
Yeah.
excited for Zelda games. Like, I mean, I'm worried that it's not going to be playing very well on the Switch.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to temper my expectations over that game. So I'm looking forward to like the really flashy games that I can get me by until then.
Yeah. Not that you'll have a lot of time, I'd say, Kurt, but is there anything you're looking forward to other than Choo Choo Charles?
Look, System Shock remake. Sort of keen to see what that's like because I did play the original one and I didn't mind that at all. Diablo 4, of course.
Yep.
I love the Diablo franchise, but again, it's all going to come down to what they've done with the game. Like if it's like pay to play or pay to win, or paywalls in there,
Yep.
or that sort of crap, they can shove it where the sun don't shine.
Oh, they'll lose me straight away if I hit a paywall.
I won't. I honestly, if I find out that sort of crap is going to be in that game, I'm not even going to bother to buy it. I just won't waste my money on it. But I love Diablo though. That's the thing. I've Diablo 3 I own on nearly every platform I think I've got. And it's not cross-platform, so you got to start again on every one of them. But I don't mind doing that because it's a good game. But like Hogwarts, I'm intrigued with, and Alan Wake 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought Remedy did a good job with the original Alan Wake, and I think that still holds up today. So I'm sort of keen to. I wouldn't mind see what they're doing with Alan Wake 2. Yeah, I mean, there's Forza Motorsport. I don't mind Motorsport, but once again, I prefer Horizon. But I still have I've bought the Motorsport, couple of the Motorsport versions, 5, 6, and 7, I think, before they run off Games Pass and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's probably my main sort of interests from what I know of anyway. But yeah, Diablo 4, keen as mustard to see that one. I'm really looking forward to it, providing they don't screw the pooch on it. But Hogwarts and Alan Wake 2, they've piqued my interest. So see how that goes.
Yeah, Alan Wake 2 looks super interesting in the small trailers I've seen.
Yeah. So and I mean Remedy, like they're doing it again. So as far as I know, so yeah, and they generally do a pretty good job on the majority of the games they get their hands into. So see how we go.
They do get their hands dirty. I'll go through mine quickly. So I wrote Starfield because it looks massive, and we all know what Bethesda are like with massive games. They're either hit or miss. So I'm anticipating massive day one patches over and over. But it does look really good. It kind of looks like what No Man's Sky kind of wanted to achieve, but had no direction. Hogwarts Legacy I put down as a question mark. I'm not super excited, but it's a game I'd probably rather watch someone play. I've never really been, despite being a massive Harry Potter fan, I've never been a fan of the games. Like the games kind of ruin the image I have of the books in my head, so I tend to always steer clear of the game. So I'm pretty excited to watch people play them. Like there is a lot of controversy around them at the moment with J.K. Rowling's like thoughts and ideologies getting mixed into the debate about the game online. My kind of thoughts are that a lot of devs and hardworking people have worked on this title, that I'm not gonna punish them for that sort of stuff, but again, it's it's up to people's personal preferences.
I think this is the first Hogwarts game that doesn't look like a gimmick.
Yeah.
Every single other Harry Potter game was just a tie-in with a movie.
Yeah.
It actually looks like they gave a crap when they were making this one. So
yeah, like a lot of time and effort looks like it's gone into that game. I put Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Like the last one, I forget what it's called. What's the last one called?
Fallen Order.
That was pretty good. That
Fallen
game.
Jedi or something. I don't know.
Jedi Fallen Order, something like that.
Cal, the character in that, amazing. The mechanics in that, the way he like flips his lightsaber around him, I thought was just the most extreme like game mechanics I've ever seen. The way he just tears through people, how he can deflect like laser shots at him. Like the game was amazing. So I cannot wait for a sequel. Diablo 4, I don't even need to talk about that. Again, another one of my games of the year, Ghost of I can never say this first time. Ghost of Tsushima. That's it. There's a game that's very similar called Where the Winds Meet, which is like a Chinese take on it.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Like I always get it mixed up with Wulong. It's actually not. So yeah, it's more like Ghosts. And one that we've talked about a lot in my stream is The Day Before, which looks like The Division but with zombies, and the graphics look pretty insane. So I can't wait for that one.
That's PC only, isn't it?
I think so.
All platforms.
Really? Okay.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
So
yeah,
it's got a lot of controversy at the moment all over YouTube. Everyone thinks it's a game it doesn't exist. Because they've not shown
that's not going to come out.
They've not shown any actual raw gameplay.
Yeah, I do remember they announced it.
If you do a Google search for The Day Before on YouTube, you'll get a ton of videos showing you why people are questioning that game.
I remember that it was years ago, like that they popped up, and it was actually like a proper gameplay demo that they had of it, and then it was gone off the face of the earth. So I would not be surprised if people get like weirded out by that game.
Yeah, for a number of reasons. Like they've cut and pasted literally stuff from just other games straight into their game. Like the service station out of that Dusk game. What's that game called, Breeze, that you just mentioned before?
That's Dusk Falls.
Yeah, there's a servo in that game apparently. Is just literally copy and pasted straight into this one. There's apparently only like 12 people working on that game. Which they don't understand how.
We'll see.
Yeah, and apparently the devs
people are talking about it.
Apparently the devs.
It only takes one person to copy and paste, so they don't need a big team. It's all good.
Apparently the devs are known for just abandoning a game straight away, so people are worried about it being a live service sort of game.
Season passes for that game. Is that what you're saying?
Just
keep an eye on it.
Just telling you what I've been looking into about it. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, have a Google search on YouTube. You'll come across
I will.
a ton of videos
so many people are excited for it.
There's some good pics those days.
Did you just like have a Google search on YouTube?
Yeah, have a Google search on YouTube.
Yep.
So what trends do you think we'll see in 2022? When it comes to gaming,
I've got heaps. The only one I reckon we'll see more of now is delayed of games, so they don't come out incomplete.
Skull and Bones.
Well, I reckon you'll just keep seeing delays because people are going to be too afraid to release garbage now.
I reckon, building on what you're saying, I reckon games won't get delayed. They're just going to cancel the last generation version of it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. You'll see no support.
They did that with Hogwarts.
Yeah, this year moving forward, you won't see any net last gen support.
Breezy.
It's already there. Look, Hogwarts is a perfect example. They're delaying it because it's just not running on the old machines.
I'm actually surprised they've kept the last gen games going this long. I would have thought they would have cut them off way before now, but because they can do so much more with current gen. Certainly.
Yeah, 100%. I agree, Fletch. I don't think you'll see any last gen support anymore.
Because I mean, Starfield, I don't see that coming to the last generation of Xbox. That's exclusive, isn't it, to Xbox, isn't it?
At
Yeah, I
this
think so.
stage.
And PC, yeah. So Microsoft,
or
obviously.
Microsoft ecosystem. But yeah, I don't see that coming to Xbox Series X.
It wouldn't
Also, Xbox X.
One X.
One X. There you go. Oh, I can't even remember what the other last generation is. Yeah, like the One X and the One S. I don't see that running Starfield at all.
Well, a quick look through the list. You got Hogwarts next gen only. You got Dead Island 2 next gen only. Suicide Squad next gen only. Street Fighter next gen only. Diablo. No, Diablo's on all consoles.
What about Atomic Heart?
Atomic Heart. When was that coming out?
2023.
Atomic Heart. I think that was February, wasn't it? No, March.
Atomic Heart, February 21. PS5, 4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, PC.
Okay, so that is all consoles. But anyway, yeah, I reckon a good 80% of everything this year is that I was looking at is not on last gen.
So without, without digging down a rabbit hole on this podcast, some food for thought I'd like to throw out there is like, what do you do in decision making for your gaming platform of choice? Like, you know what I mean? And I say that in terms of, I know PCs can cost, you can spend quite a bit of money on a decent PC, but a PC you can scale back current gen games to at least play on your 7-year-old PC, even if you wanted to. Now you do that on they're stopping these games. Well, and look, rightly so, because you've got games last gen you're running on older hardware that is probably doesn't have the technology the new gen does built into the CPUs, obviously, because newer versus old. But you spend a lot of money on a current gen console only to have it go out of service. And I think they're going out of service quicker and quicker now. Like
they're not the whole 8-10 year cycle anymore, are they? They're I could take everybody down a rabbit hole here with PC hardware, and maybe if there's interest in it, and I think some of our, can I say, well, sponsors, not so much sponsors, but the companies that do support MKAU, such as, you've got Dell, Alienware, AMD, Asus. There's a lot, especially when it comes to the AMD, the latest AMD 7000 series. I could fill up another hour going over what I have discovered and what I've tested on the current setup that AMD have sent me out. And while that thing, you could spend, probably the setup I've got that AMD sent me would be worth maybe a touch under 2,000 if you did it right. This thing is killing, what did I say before? Gotham Knights. 4K, maxed out, ray tracing, everything. And I'm pulling 143 frames. A constant 143. So, so maybe that's just some food for thought in terms of making, I guess, a choice on your gaming platform, because, it's
sustainability.
Look, it is. Consoles are nice. Consoles are easy. Consoles don't crash as often as a PC. Let's be real. Windows, you play on a Microsoft Windows-based PC, and how many crash? If you don't know how to troubleshoot, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble and a lot of costs. But yeah. Anyway, that's another topic for another day. Just something to for
could totally have a tech
to think about.
episode one day.
I'd be all in for that, definitely. And I think some of our supporters, like I say, the brands that support us, it would shine some light. on what I've learned over the years that a lot of people and I see it in the stores like all the time. You got salespeople talking to people trying to buy a gaming PC, and I'm standing there and I'm thinking, you are giving them such wrong information.
I'll just bail out of that episode. Somebody can go through that episode.
Yeah,
I think it would be a good discussion because I mean,
it would be a good episode though.
I don't reckon. Yeah, you know, I'm all for the cloud gaming portion of it, where it doesn't matter what hardware you got.
Well, that's what one of my trends is. I said cloud gaming and streaming becoming more of a thing this year.
With I think it's Samsung that have it like built in now. Xbox Game Pass is built
TVs,
into it.
Yeah.
Again, sorry, but again with cloud gaming though is Australia's infrastructure. You know, like I mean, I moved house just recently. For all those that don't know me, which is probably everybody, and I, you know, I've gone from crappy old copper fiber to the node 50/20 to I've now got 1 gigabit connection with 2 millisecond ping at home. Yeah. I can cloud game now.
Yeah,
and which is great, but not every I would hazard a guess that the majority of Australians don't have that sort of infrastructure yet.
Yeah. Well, we found even when we've had group gaming nights now, just the cloud streaming has made it so much more accessible for. Like we were playing Battlefield the other night, and Breezy just dropped in, and he was just cloud gaming it.
Because Xbox can't run the game. So
and we also had like the hunt night.
Yeah.
The hunter night, not hunt because different game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We've had people just join by like cloud streaming into it.
Yeah.
Which is
like
nice.
That was like even when I first played the cloud gaming, that it's like saving the money and also it's saving you the download space.
Yeah.
Like you can play it and once and you just go, yeah, no, I'm not downloading this, I'm not bothering downloading it. Because the downloading takes for ages, especially on big games.
Yeah, Battlefield was like 60 gig or something.
Yeah.
Anytime we ever dip into Back 4 Blood, I just cloud stream it because it's too much of a download, too much storage space.
Yeah. Any other trends, guys? NFT games. How do we feel about NFT games?
That shouldn't even be a trend.
Didn't they cancel that? I thought they canceled that.
Like, it's not something I like want but it's something I expect to be a bigger thing this year.
We should get Kevin on the podcast for that one. Subby, he loves his NFT games. Kevin.
Oh, yeah, right. Good old Kevin.
He loves his NFT games.
Shout out to K-Red Undead.
Like I think building off what you're talking about with Cult of the Lamb and just like cloud like stream gaming and stuff like that. Like I love like joining people and playing Jackbox Party and stuff like that. Like people are playing on stream and stuff. I'd like more interactive games that like are pushing the boundaries on what you can do in that space. Like a lot of times at the moment, like right now, it's pretty simple. Like people logging on their phones, and then only one person has the Jackbox Party, and there's like 1,000 people that can play, voting for things and stuff like that. I'd like to see that expanded to be something, more substantial. Like I think the only thing I can really think of would be the literal Twitch Plays Pokemon that came out, which kind of started this whole trend. Where there's people voting for commands and stuff like that and going like left and right. Like I don't know how you could really expand on it. The only thing that would be really good would be like a D&D based game, like storytelling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just putting things out into the atmosphere and hoping that it brings something back. But I'd like to see that type of stuff expand on in the future for games.
One thing I would like to see Twitch do is because like I noticed at Mixer at one point they had a system where you could play the streamer's game while they were playing it. Like they could have you play their game for them. Like that's how I
Oh, I do remember that feature. Yeah.
Dead by Daylight. One of the people I knew, they were streaming it, and there was an option to play that game for them. Like
Wasn't
they
that an
would have full
Xbox?
control still. But
Wasn't that an Xbox feature where you could hand over a control?
yeah,
You can do it on PlayStation. Like you can like share controls and stuff like that. But like for
but
Mixer itself, it was
that
just
was
like
an actual
any
mixer
game.
integration. Yeah, integration. I mean, yeah, but yeah, you're right.
that was like a big thing that I miss. One of the big things I miss from Mixer that I saw was like that was an evolutionary step, but I haven't seen Twitch do anything like that.
I don't know whether anyone's seen her or not, but Code Miko.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's
the game,
amazing.
like the games and stuff like that she's developing is kind of a lot on that vein and stuff like that. Like she was just a developer that's just branched off and started doing her own thing, invest in stuff, and like the technology, like just the recognition of like the her finger movements, all the tiniest details, like hand strands and stuff like that. But she was trying to make an entire game as well that's properly integrated with that. Like a lot of a Twitch is just like you like they vote on different things, they can mute her and they can change like her body proportions and stuff like that, like all the funny stuff. But I reckon she's literally on the right path of creating like a VR space, like
Ready Player One.
Ready Player
like
One
an
stuff.
AI.
A system that I would love to see and experience, especially when there's both Ready Player One and Sword Art Online systems are both systems I've been like, I hope to see that day, because like when
as long as
gaming
no one
gets to
kicks
that
me
level,
in the sore spot, I'll be right with those. For anyone that's seen Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already got those immersive suits things. I forget their names, but like you could be able to feel something in the VR.
Like
but
the
like
haptic suits, so they like
yeah,
pressure points them and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you feel like someone's gonna slap your chest, you feel that from the VR.
I'd love to play that if you're streaming.
I know you would.
Punch you right in the dick
with you, and you just try and face me.
I wish I could find some credit for it and stuff like that, but there's people like developing like gloves that have like wires and resistance and stuff like that. So like if you're trying to grip on something, like once like your fingers get to a certain point where like it registers, that's what the item would be. Like the
Nintendo Power Glove, yeah.
Power Glove.
Power Glove.
But yeah, like just like they're trying to integrate that so it's not this hulking giant mech suit that they're wearing when they're playing a game. Whittle that down, make it accessible, but like that'd be really cool.
Personally, I don't see them avoiding that at first, because like it'd be a big gas system that would be brand new. They're probably gonna be bulky, and then they'll slim down over time as technology evolves.
Oh yeah, for sure. I still don't think I could personally do a VR game. I'm not good with VR.
Yeah. I don't know. I just expect to see like quality of life things in 2023. Like crossplay and cross progression should be like a standard thing now.
Yeah,
especially cross progression.
Like it annoys me that I had
at a minimum cross
so many skins on Warzone 1 that did not cross over to Warzone 2. Like that just legit for me just made me not want to play really any Warzone at all. Like I had a cool Die Hard skin and Sylvester Stallone. Now they're just useless.
I actually hate playing COD with Subby now because he's not running next to me as Snoop Dogg saying all his cool.
Yeah, I bought Snoop Dogg and Bruce Willis as well. I can't use them.
It's really dumb.
It was like back when Destiny didn't have any cross play or cross progression.
Yeah.
Hopefully, that's a necessity. You got to have that. So.
Yeah, it should be standard practice now. Like, you get why they don't do cross progression because they're money hungry, but there's no excuse for crossplay anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you mentioned like just things what we want like in the industry and stuff like that. But like Destiny itself, like I play Destiny a lot, but a huge thing is like I know Subby comes back every like once a season or something like that.
I jump on when a new thing comes in, and it just doesn't keep me there anymore.
But the big thing is that every time you jump on, like you don't have anything that I have, and so it's like it's really impossible for like anyone else to like really get into Destiny unless you've been it for a long time.
Yeah.
And Bungie have just like there's a mod system in the game, so you can mod your stuff and you can do all this thing. They've literally just said, "Here, have it," and they've just released every single mod that you can't they can get the game except for like end game stuff, and just said that any new player that comes through just has it. And then they've dropped the light level requirement for things like which is like every single time W would turn up, he would be massively under levels.
If you're not a regular player of Destiny, it's just there's no point.
It's
way
too
literally
punishing.
No point. That's why I don't stay on it anymore.
But yeah, they've dropped the light level requirement for nearly everything. They've just added all the mods and stuff like that. I was like, I think I don't know. I hope that they realize, like, because they've been bought by Sony. I hope that they realize that just because people are playing the game, for a week or something like that, doesn't mean that people are enjoying it. And a lot of people, are leaving these games because they feel like jobs. That's what I wanted for 2023, a game that doesn't feel like a damn job.
Yeah.
It's just impossible to keep up unless you're just playing Destiny.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
So
that kind of goes with one of my topics. I'm like, just less battle royales and less like now that there is less battle royales, just less big shooters like COD, Battlefield, Halo. Maybe even Destiny. You need to take a step back and maybe regroup and think of some fresh ideas.
Yeah, they were stopping that because they still make so much money off each one. Like COD and all that always make big money because everyone goes and buys them, then whinges about them and says, "I'm never buying another COD," but still buys the next one.
I don't want COD again this year unless it's a remaster of Black Ops 2.
There is no COD this year.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
Then you find out end of the year. Yeah, no, we're releasing it last minute.
Probably.
All right, last topic of the podcast. We need to move on because I'm getting little man's anxious in the background. Okay, so 2023 TV shows based on games. Last of Us currently out. Witcher 3. Henry Cavill's already leaving that series. Not Witcher 3, just the Witcher series. Borderlands have a TV show coming out with Kevin Hart. The Last of Us director actually told the main character to not bother with playing the games. So should games to TV shows be true to the source material? How do we feel about that?
Yes.
Elaborate.
Quite simply, yeah. What is there is no point in trying to have a TV show / movie play like with the name of the same game. You can't call them the same thing if they're not sticking to that source material. You've got to. It's got to be like the game because I'm assuming that you would be aiming at the gamers that have played the game for the majority.
You're not aiming for anyone other than the people playing the game.
Yeah, and
look what happened.
And if you don't stick to that source material, it just it's such a disappointment, and then you lose any credibility for if you have any future releases for that. I think it's just a massive yes. You have to stick to the source material, and for the for that director or whatever to say to the main character, "Oh, don't worry about playing the games." Well,
yeah.
Then I'm not going to worry about watching the show.
Yeah, you should go watch the clip online. The little girl that plays Ellie, is it Ellie?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Ella
in
Ramsey.
an interview. Yeah, and she just blatantly out loud says, "Oh, the director told me not to bother playing the games."
Oh my god, yeah.
And I was like, it was kind of a gut punch.
I think playing the game is pretty important, I would have thought.
Well, I thought the rumor was that Henry Cavill left because they were moving away from the source
There was a
material.
big clash.
And
over a lot of that stuff,
why Resident Evil didn't work, because it wanted to do its own story before, or sometime before I don't know, I can't remember now. It was shit. It didn't work because you're watching it. Yeah. Yeah.
And we also had the Halo.
Yeah, Halo.
Halo is a prime example. They took Master Chief's helmet off in the first episode, right? First or second, Fletcher?
Yeah, first.
It was the first. Yeah.
The first episode, like they just went for it and said this is what's going to be.
I think you even see his naked butt in one episode.
Yeah. When he put, I shouldn't say it with spoilers, but because when he pulls the chip out, cuts the chip out. But but yeah, I mean, Halo. If you watch it just as a show, it's not too bad. But if you compare it to the source material, it's garbage.
Yeah, if you're a fan, right?
I think a big thing with any adaptation is just for the Last of Us, for this one, I don't expect them to deviate a lot because realistically, it's just people in a post-apocalyptic world. So like, it's not going to be hard for them to put themselves in like a dilapidated building and then record them, saying dramatic words at each other. For like a sci-fi shoot or something like that, maybe they don't have the budget for something like that. So them admitting a certain portion of the the lore is only like plenty. You got to give them a leeway at some stage. They may not have the budget to do an all out spaceship war or something like that. See, like they're doing the God of War TV show. I think, and they're going to stick with the Norse story. They're not going to do the original source material, like the Greek and stuff like that. And I reckon a lot of that show, there probably won't be much god fighting or anything like that. It's just going to be a lot of stuff, which is still really good material. Like Atreus and Kratos talking to each other, is obviously is a huge part of why the latest series is like that. But you're probably going to get one or two monster fights through the whole show. I think in The Witcher, in The Witcher, there's a lot of politics and stuff like that, talking back and forth. There's just a limitation on what someone can do, but I don't see anywhere in The Last of Us that you could cut that out because realistically, it's a 12-hour game.
Especially in the first game, because it's cementing the story.
Yep.
You can't really deviate from it.
It does suck when they buy the IP and then they rely way too heavy on the fact that they're like, oh, these people are going to see it no matter what because they're already fans. So that means we can do whatever we want with it. Like you see that a bit.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat movie was half and half.
I was going to mention, it kind of did its own thing in the last movie with the new character and stuff, but it was alright.
Yeah,
I still like it. I still enjoyed it.
It worked.
The character sucks, but
so he's there for the Hollywood trope storyline of the character gets sucked into this world. All the other characters are the Mortal Kombat stuff, and then he's like the one that you follow along the whole time in a traditional Hollywood sense.
Yeah,
but
the original was better.
Yeah. And they have also said that they're bringing out a second one to the newer one. So,
I mean, at the end of the day, they got to respect the fans, though. I think it's a bit disrespectful to just blatantly go, don't even bother playing the games. That just shows that you don't care about the community that built the actual IP they're about to make
Well, we won't even bother watching the show.
I don't know about you, but I watch it tonight. So
yeah, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
But some shows that they brought out for games have look at the Cyberpunk Edge Runners. That pretty much brought everyone back to the game. If someone's able to make a live action version of that does our own story, but does link it to the original source. Even having that immersed into the game, that is what would be really good.
Yeah, if you're not going to care about the original story, make it a different story in that universe. That's why Edge Runners was so successful. Because it had nothing to do with the original narrative line that you were running in Cyberpunk. It kind of ran parallel to your character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And adding stuff into the game world that was from the show. They added in stuff from there and immersed it into the game, which you could go around find. Yeah, they didn't add a great lot, but they still added stuff that was there to go collect, and it also made people want to just absolutely destroy Atom Smasher. And stuff like that. It's what could make it brought a game that went so terrible to being so popular.
That show really did save that game.
Yeah. Oh my god. Even I went back into it after that.
Has the expansion come out yet?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. I think the directors don't realize how heartbreaking it is, though, when you don't respect the lore. For example, I binge watched The Ring of Power, because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and the disrespect that they really put on the screen towards, the second phase of that era, it was actually the series was gutter trash.
We should get one of the actors from Rings of Power on the podcast.
Well, didn't you interview one?
Yeah, get your mate
I've
back
got his
here.
number, and he said he would be happy to join us.
Oh no, it would be heartbreaking.
Put Stace on here. She could ask him.
I'd be like, it was
questions.
so bad.
I'm happy to contact him. He was more than happy. He's a bloody lovely bloke. So
the elves were hot. But the
Stace
series was
I'll
bad.
join for that podcast.
Stace can tell me how shit the TV
No,
is.
I wouldn't. I'll be too shy. I wouldn't.
She's like, I loved it so much. It was the best thing ever.
Fletcher can host that one.
Happy to hit him up. But,
It was bad though.
I'll surprise you next time, Stace. We'll sneak him in here, eh?
May as well strike while the iron's hot, Kurt.
Yeah, exactly right.
I feel like we need to have a separate. I feel like I've said this for a while. We need to have separate pod. We need to make sub genres of podcasts just for I don't know, different topics just to focus on one topic.
How much time do you think we have, Breezy?
Yeah, bro, we can be playing us on the
We all don't work, buddy. Just
have more discussions of just something me and Tox. We could go on about Pokemon and have other people come in and have different game topics and we could have Kurt and Lance talk about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you guys do that.
I want one request. I want one recurring segment, and that's what makes Kurt tick. Because I still laugh over the moment when we were talking about Call of Duty. I think it was last year, and you're like, "What the fuck is a sweat?"
that was our Fortnite, yeah.
Gaming language with Kurt.
Oh, that was so fun. We were just explaining sweats and turns to you.
Well,
I was like,
my youngest kept telling me about sweats, and I'm like, well, he would never tell me what they were. So I
think we said Subby was a sweat. That was our example.
Subby is totally a sweat.
Subby is a sweat, bro, at shooters. Except Apex is bad.
That was like when
look at him on Siege and Fortnite. God damn. He needs to not sweat as much. I can see the drops coming down.
Let's wrap this up. Breezy's talking too much. Wrap it up.
Alright. Anyone got any closing statements or any news they want to share?
No, not really.
Well,
like I said, the year's only just kicking off, so it's not really much happening right now.
Yeah.
If you want news, go on the website.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we've mentioned Megan, you can find the review on the website. We've mentioned our games of 2022, you can find them on the website. We've mentioned many games that we've played throughout this year, you can find them all on the website. Today's podcast, we'd like to give a quick little plug to Juiced Energy. You can quote MKAU at checkout to get 10% off of your energy or hydrating needs. Anyone in chat tried Juiced?
Yep.
So he's got a tub of nearly every flavour.
Yeah,
actually, I tried the new vanilla variant today.
Yep.
So much better.
Dragon Rage is
Dragon
awesome.
Rage, yeah. Dragon Rage is good. Have you tried any of that, Kurt?
Nah.
Subby will hook you up with some sachets.
Just don't dry
I'm sure
shot
hundreds.
razor melon or anything like that. Don't dry shot them.
Yeah, don't
What sort of
dry shot
flavors you
them.
into, Kurt?
Oh.
Citrus? I can go get a couple of
Sweet.
I can send you
yeah.
some stuff.
I saw him drinking a can of Coke, so I think you should just give him seismic cola money.
So shout out to Brian for our affiliate code. Check that out in the bio below. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, and have a fabulous week. And that is us out. Bye.
And choo choo out.
Bye.
Bye.
And play
Yeah.
Choo Choo Charles.
Choo choo chow.